Realty. I service mainly Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Sevierville, and Knoxville. And today we are with my co-lender that I love to work with on a daily basis.
Hello.
Yes, her name's Amanda. She's going to tell you a little bit about herself.
Yes, so my name's Amanda Holman. I work at Mortgage Investors Group in downtown Knoxville. So if you're walking by on Gay Street, feel free to stop by and say hey. But we work with everywhere in Tennessee. I specialize in East Tennessee. So if you have any questions,
Yeah.
we're the tag team the team to come to.
Don't just call one of us, you need to call both of us.
Right.
So today we are talking about the process for home buying in today's current market, and it is currently March 30th, 2021.
2021.
Yeah, so we know it's a very hot, fast-paced market. It could be, frustrating, a little intimidating.
Right.
So we just want to run through it because it's not intimidating if you have the right lender and realtor on your side.
Yes.
So yeah, let's start off with you need to get pre-qualified before you start looking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Know what you can buy before you start looking at everything.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I would want to do is walk into my dream home and not be able to afford it, with the monthly payment being too high or down payment. There's a lot of things that go into looking into a home and making sure you're comfortable with a monthly payment.
Yeah.
I might have rambled. So.
Or you'll go to bed crying because you can't get the mansion that you want.
Right. But if you start with a pre-qualification, you can know what you can afford and move on from that point. So,
sure.
How do you get pre-qualified?
Oh yeah.
That's a great question, right?
What I found is most people usually call a realtor first, and they want to start looking at houses right off the bat. And that's fine. I actually like it because that realtor is going to know really great lenders. So if you want to call me first just to make that connection and then get in touch with Amanda, that's perfectly fine. But I am going to send you to Amanda. So if you call me, I'm just going to send you to her. But I definitely could talk a little bit about it, but she is all about the loan process and actually how to get pre-qualified into the pre-approval. She's going to walk you through the steps really quick.
So first thing that you want to do when you're looking at purchasing a home is start with an application. What that means is we take your personal information, so like your name, your date of birth, your social, we pull in your credit report, and we also get your income and asset information. So we want to know where you've been working for the last 2 years. What money do you have saved in your bank for a down payment? Do you need a program that doesn't require a down payment? Those are all good questions for us to get to know and find the right option for you, because there really are so many different options available, whether you're a first-time home buyer or buying an investment home. There's plenty of different options, and it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. So once we get your credit report pulled in, we will look at things like your debt to income ratio, look at different programs, and pick out what the best fit is for you.
And just like a side note, I feel like a lot of people out there feel like they're not good enough to buy a house, or they don't think they're going to get approved, but they never actually make the initiative to call someone and do the process. And honestly, I feel like it's much easier than people think. I feel like they think it's like some big to-do, especially people of my age group, like millennials and even the new generation. There's a new generation coming. Like they're in their early 20s.
They're coming for these houses.
And like we want them to be ready. We want them to buy a house. We want to get rid of that stigma that, people in their 20s and 30s are still living in apartments. Why?
And you really can, I think generationally speaking, I research the heck out of things, and I think that's a stereotype of our generation. But I think that also can be the case that I research the heck out of things, but I don't take the next step in following up with a valued advisor, lender, or an expert in the area. So So I think that's a huge important step. You're exactly right.
Yeah, so don't feel discouraged. If you feel like you can't buy a home, just reach out. And honestly, if you're not to the point where you can't buy yet, she's gonna tell you how you could get to where you could do it.
Yeah, and then I love to think of the pre-qualification process as laying out a solid game plan. So let's say you're not exactly ready in the moment that you call me to purchase, but I can give you specific steps or get you connected with the right people to get you ready to buy. We have credit repair tools that we use. So it's easier than you think.
Yeah, today right before we filmed the video, she was on a call helping, like advising them how they could, you know, get ready to buy the house. So it's doable. Just give her a call. Or give me a call.
Give both of us a call.
So next up, it would be getting connected with an agent, which would be me or anyone. If you're not in East Tennessee, I'm sorry. But there are great agents out there, and you definitely want to get one that you mesh well with, because more than likely, if you're buying a house, you could be with this agent up to months, up to years maybe. We don't know what you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for like some fancy mid-century home that's way out there.
Very specific.
So you want to be in a good relationship with the lender and the realtor. So make sure it's a good personality fit. And the process is kind of on both of us at that point. So I'm going to show you properties, find out what you really like. I'll advise you on the fees that you might encounter throughout the process, like the closing cost. Luckily, you can ask the seller to pay some things. In this really hot market, I haven't seen it as much. Have you?
I haven't seen as much seller paid closing cost. It doesn't mean that that's not an option, but usually your agent will know how to be strategic, because the market's really crazy. A lot of homes are selling very quickly. Homes aren't staying on the market very long. So that's when you can really rely on the expertise of your agent to give you that that instruction.
For sure.
We really do run side by side.
Yeah, we do.
In the process. As soon as you start looking at homes, we're communicating on, okay, this property has higher taxes. Are we still good in qualifying? So we do run side by side through the process.
Constant contact.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, I know you've probably heard everyone, like a house getting like 40+ offers and, you know, that buyer not being able to get their home. So also you want to pick a good agent that is strategic and smart in their plan, because there's ways to make an offer look really good without offering 100K over. Like, I know that sounds like, that's a crazy number. Don't listen to that. But, there's other ways, such as you paying for your own closing cost, waiving a home inspection, waiving an appraisal, which I wanted you to go into a little bit of what your company does. Yeah,
so we do have, MIG follows Fannie and Freddie. So Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae have a contract. We will load in your file details. So we're basically taking your pre-qualification, putting a property in there and running it through our automated underwriting system. If we get back a property inspection waiver, that means you have the option to not have an appraisal. Any of the fees that we're talking about, any fees that are required by the lender, which is me, or MIG, we do give credit for that at closing. So you'll get credit for your earnest money that you put down on your home. You also get credit for your appraisal.
Wow.
And pest inspection if it's required. It's not always required.
Actually planning on doing another video too soon that's going to go over, like, in detail the cost and the fees and everything. You're going to get that with pretty much anyone when you close on a house. And then next we're going to talk about what if it comes in low. You hear all these stories of homes going up 40 grand over asking. Yeah, sometimes when you're in a competitive market like we are right now, people are offering over asking price. So the biggest problem that we have at that point is when the appraiser goes out to give the value of your home, not the condition of the home, the value of the home. Sometimes it comes in lower than what you've offered, which
A good real estate agent on the front end that's listing the home is looking around the area, finding comparable sales, keeping it in the area, if I'm not mistaken, of what your home is valued at. So a good listing agent is gonna get close to that,
but
right?
they're not always good.
they're not always on. But let's say multiple offers, you offer more than the contract price, appraisal comes in low. What you're really gonna need to do at that point is you have a few options. You can either bring the difference at closing. So if you have those funds and you love the home, you can bring the difference. You can go back to the sellers and ask them to lower their purchase price or give you more closing costs to help compensate and adjust some of the numbers side of things, or you can walk away from the deal at that point. Which sometimes it has to be that way if we can't play around with the numbers and get it right. But
it's
hopefully
sad.
we'll find a solution
When that
before
happens.
that.
So yeah, once you get there, like I said, my part is to help you find the perfect home, get you under contract, make way with her, keep in contact, make sure everything's going as planned, and then you'd have a home inspection if you wanted, typically within the first 14 days. And then of course the appraisal, like she said, which happens usually after the home inspection. Typically they come back pretty fast. The only time I've seen it take longer is if they're just really busy, which can happen with such a hot market right now. But after that, you pretty much do a final walkthrough when you get close to the clear to close, and you just make sure it's still the property that you know and love, and you still want it. No pipes were busted and flooded the whole house while it was vacant. And then hopefully I get the call from her saying they got the clear to close and we can schedule for closing. And you can go into that a little bit.
So clear to close on her side is so fun and exciting. It's equally exciting on my side too.
It's more party over there.
It's a party over there. It's me making sure when we have you clear to close, that means your credit approved, your property is approved, and we're good to close. I'll give you a call and go over your closing disclosure, which is your final figures for closing. I also, one big thing is why it's not a party on my end is because I like to know that customers aren't out there buying a new car or a new boat or new furniture for their house, which is so exciting. And I don't like taking away from the excitement of the process because I truly do love it. However, we are clear to close with your current credit profile. So make sure not to open any new debt prior to closing. Same with like job, income information. Don't quit your job. Don't quit. You want to stay consistent. But if there are changes like that, the biggest thing to know throughout the loan process is if there are changes, to have good open communication. Because it's easier to get through when we have that information up front rather than having to find it out through our verifications and things like that.
So then, of course, after the clear to close and everyone's partying and she's stressing, we do schedule you a closing. So you could go to a title company. She actually is able to have closings here at her mortgage company, and it's a beautiful room. If you can't tell, we got some brick wall, a beautiful fireplace. We're not going to show you anymore though.
It's a secret.
But yeah, once you get to there, it's pretty much easy breezy. There's a ton of signing, like crazy signing. In the beginning, I pretty much do everything over the computer electronically. Are you the same?
Everything online.
So it's just pretty much the closing part where they still like the pen to paper kind of scenario.
Ink signatures.
So you'll spend, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour just signing your life away. And then you get the keys and you get to be in your beautiful home, and then you could go buy a brand new car, right?
Well, just sit where you are, be comfortable. But we just need to make sure we're qualified, in good standing.
For sure. Well, that gets you all the way to closing where you get the keys. If you guys have any questions, make sure you comment down below.
Yes.
Like our video so more people can see it.
Yes.
And definitely subscribe if you want to. Upload every Sunday, but I'll be doing a video with Miss Amanda once a month on the second Sunday of the month.
Yes.
So, you know, you'll see us again in this room, and we're gonna have more information coming at you. The next video is gonna be on the fees and the cost, the whole breakdown. We're gonna go into very, very detailed work. So be sure to check back next month sometime. And did you have anything else to say?
No. Thanks for watching.